Hello, good morning to everybody. Just a few minutes to make sure everybody is connected and we are going to start.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Good morning, Sam. This is Sugar Vincent Musoke from this African community.
Hello.
Morning, sir. Yeah, this is Kingsley from Nigeria NSO.
I think you should mute your microphone. There is an echo.
Yes, yeah, I'll mute it now. Thank you.
So there is translation in the meeting, interpretation. If you look at the button, you can choose between French and English.
Yusuf, you're speaking to yourself, eh? You're muted.
Sorry, I was muted. I didn't notice. So I was saying, notice that there is interpretation. There is a button you can choose the language. So without further ado, we can start. Donc bonjour et bienvenue à tous. J'espère que vous allez tous bien. Je vous remercie de prendre dans vos emplois de temps chargés pour vous joindre à nous. Comme vous le savez, nous sommes là pour discuter d'un sujet qui est crucial, ce que nous appelons le web scraping pour les statistiques officielles. Le web scraping joue un rôle de plus en plus significatif dans notre capacité à extraire des données utiles d'Internet, surtout lorsque nous nous efforçons d'obtenir des informations statistiques précises et à jour. Donc, l'objectif de la réunion d'aujourd'hui, c'est de discuter des stratégies, des meilleures pratiques, des aspects juridiques, parce que ce sont des techniques qui sont en train d'apparaître, qui sont nouvelles. Et quand il y a des nouvelles techniques qui apparaissent, nous savons tous que vous êtes dans la contrainte de la productivité. Vous voulez continuer à produire vos statistiques avec la meilleure qualité possible, mais en même temps, vous vous posez des questions par rapport aux nouvelles techniques qui apparaissent. Est-ce que ça vaut le coup d'essayer ces nouvelles techniques? Quels en sont les dangers? Donc, des projets pilotes comme ça, c'est important pour vous informer et vous permettre de prendre la décision d'aller vers une nouvelle technique. Donc, c'est pour ça qu'on est en train d'organiser cette réunion pour vous dire les résultats qu'on a obtenus avec quelques pays pilotes dans le cadre du web scraping. Donc, l'agenda de la réunion, ce sera d'abord une introduction par le directeur du Centre africain de la statistique, M. Oliver Chingania, et par le directeur de l'Institut national de la statistique du Rwanda. Ils sont tous des partenaires dans le hub régional. Donc, après l'introduction, notre collègue Thérèse, qui travaille à l'Institut statistique du Rwanda, va vous présenter le projet, les objectifs, la structure. Ensuite, nous aurons une session de 45 minutes dans laquelle nous allons vous dire voilà ce que nous avons appris à travers cette expérience-là. Ensuite, il y a des instituts de statistiques qui vont venir, donc le Nigeria, le Ghana et le Sénégal, qui vont aussi nous dire voilà, ils ont participé au projet pilote, voilà ce qu'on a appris, voilà ce que nous pensons par rapport à ce web scraping et par rapport à son utilité dans la production des données sur les prix. Ensuite, après ça, on va vous parler du hub régional pour le big data et la science des données en général. Notre collègue Mola va vous en parler. Et on aura 10 minutes de questions-réponses et après, on va procéder à la clôture. Donc, j'espère que vous êtes tous prêts. J'espère que nous aurons des débats intéressants. Et sans plus tarder, je vais passer la parole à M. Oliver Chingania, qui est le directeur du Centre africain pour la statistique, pour quelques mots d'ouverture. Oliver, over to you.
Thank you. Thank you. I hope you're able to hear me. Good afternoon, good morning, colleagues that are joined on this particular event today. I want to recognize colleagues that are coming from the National Statistical Offices, partners from the Office of National Statistical Office of UK, our dear colleagues from Rwanda, the National Statistical Institute of Rwanda, in particular, the Director General, I hope he's here. I know that there are also some young statisticians that have joined us. I see one good colleague I haven't seen for a long time, Vincent Sevuga, so it's good to see you. Good to see you on the screen. We want to hear your voice. Let me just say, colleagues, first of all, I'm delighted to welcome you to this webinar, which is going to discuss the outcomes of the CPI Web Scraping project taken by the African Regional Hub on Big Data and Data Science. This is an initiative which we are very, very excited, and some of you that have followed, we started off this just soon after COVID set up in 2020. As you know, we are navigating through this era with digitalization, and I think Yusuf mentioned some of this issues already, an era marked by a remarkable change in the accessibility of information, innovative technologies, and ever-expanding network of global connections. In this dynamic environment, I want to believe that national statistical offices hold very, very great responsibilities to support the data ecosystem using the available innovative tools. Their mandate is not merely to match the pace of this transformational digital shift, but to actively harness its power to raise the quality, the promptness, and integrity of data they provide to governments, policymakers, and most importantly, the citizens themselves that consume this data. As we embrace this responsibility, and I'm referring to national statistical offices, today's webinars really marks an important milestone on our collective journey to provide credible data. During this session, we hope that we will explore the depth and the process of the web scraping, a revolutionary tool that has the potential to change the way we collect data on CPI. The process of web scraping involves the extraction of data from websites and its subsequent conversion to a more manageable format and process. This approach enables us to access enormous, previous untapped reservoir of information on the internet, which is now dramatically, can actually dramatically improve the way we collect data to produce official statistics in many ways. Digitalization and modernization are no longer potential in our work. They are a necessity. It's just not something that we have, rather, it's not an optional, rather. They're no longer an optional, but rather a necessity that we need to have in our work. In this aspect of society, from the economy to education, from governance to healthcare, the evolution of technology in a rapidly reshaping landscape. To provide relevant, high quality and timely statistics, we must embrace this digital evolution fully and not just partly. That's why we have developed this roadmap here at the Africa Center for Statistics, a roadmap on the transformation and modernization of statistics, a strategy that is guiding all efforts in supporting national statistical systems on the continent. I would like to highlight here the significance of the big data in our modernization efforts as part of this roadmap that I've just referred to. Big data is the vast quantity of data generated every day through our use of digital platforms. Our statistical systems can be improved in several ways by using big data, which offers unprecedented opportunities. In addition to offering real-time insights, it can also be used to predict future trends, which makes it a very, very powerful tool. It is in this context that the United Nations Regional Hub on Big Data and Data Science plays an indispensable role. This hub provides us with much needed support for our digital transformation as part of its mission to foster innovation. The hub helps us in developing our capacities, promote sharing of best practices, and facilitating the collaboration among members that are part of it. It is at this juncture I would like to also acknowledge the contribution, particularly from the National Statistics Office of UK and the National Statistics of Rwanda, with whom we work with very closely in the support of this particular hub. We've been relying on their expertise and consistent support for the last few years to help us advance the work of the National Statistical System. Their commitment to our collective cause has been unwavering throughout the years, from providing technical training to providing assistance with modern data techniques. While digitalization has brought positive contributions to the transformation process, the journey has not been without challenges. It is clear that we have a lot to overcome, from issues of data privacy to cybersecurity, including the need for developing skills and also building the necessary infrastructure. In spite of all this, always keep in mind the following, that there is an opportunity for every challenge that we come across. Learning, innovating, and growing are all opportunities that we make in our life worthwhile. It is the reason we are here to discuss and learn from each other, share our experiences, and find solutions to the challenges that we face collectively. The main goal today is to really delve into a deeper in practice of the conversation and practice of the web scraping and how it works to improve official statistics. In this course, we will learn about the technical aspects, explore its applications, and consider potential implications. We will share our experiences, learn from each other's success, and find ways to overcome our challenges together as we learn from one another's experience. As I conclude, colleagues, it is important to remember that digital transformation of statistical practice is not only about technology, but also about culture around this particular technology. The goal of this project is to harness the power of this technology to provide more precise, timely, and meaningful data to users. In short, it's about improving the lives of our citizens by providing them with better transformative information that will empower governments and policymakers to make better decisions. As the world continues to evolve, let us not just sit back and watch it happen. Let us be part of this evolution. With the help of these digital tools like web scraping, let us create a brighter and data-driven future for our countries by using digital technologies, our digital tools. And as we continue our journey together, I'm delighted to be part of this webinar today. And I'm really looking forward to hearing from yourselves. And therefore, I would like to take the opportunity once again to welcome you all to this particular session that we have, and in particular National Statistics Office, because ultimately you'll be the ones that are going to be implementing this particular tool that we would like to speak to. And there are many other things that need to be considered in terms of the application and who else are we going to be bringing on board? Are there going to be some sort of MOUs and so forth in terms of where this data is going to be scrapped? Do we have the infrastructure needed to be able to launch these kinds of things? So I think some candid discussion on this will become very, very important, so that whatever decision we make, we know that it is within the realms of our own responsibilities and also within the resources that we have. So with that, I just want to wish ourselves a very, very good discussion, productive one for that matter, and then I'll hand over to the moderator, Yusuf, to take us through the session. Thank you very much, moderator.
Ok, merci beaucoup, Olivier. Donc, le directeur du Centre africain pour la statistique nous rappelle l'importance de la digitalisation et du web scraping. Donc, merci de nous rappeler que ce soit la boussole et la carte de notre paysage statistique moderne. Nous avons besoin de la digitalisation pour naviguer à travers l'océan des données que nous avons aujourd'hui pour avoir des informations plus précieuses garantissant que notre compréhension statistique reste opportune, pertinente et ancrée dans la réalité de l'ère numérique. Donc, il y a aussi M. Youssouf, le directeur de l'Institut national de la statistique, qui devait prendre part à l'ouverture, mais a été empêché. Mais nous avons notre collègue Thérèse qui va dire quelques mots au nom de l'Institut national de la statistique du Rwanda. Donc, Thérèse, la parole est à vous. Someone is not muted. Can you mute your microphones, please? Is Thérèse online? I think Thérèse is having some difficulties connecting. Os, can you make sure that our colleague Thérèse Iwimana has access to speak? Just a few minutes. We are trying to join Thérèse.
Perhaps we could start and then she can come and make an intervention when she's ready, in the interest of time.
Yes, she was muted, so I hope the problem is solved now.
Sorry, apologies. Good afternoon, good morning, depending on where you come from. Apologies, Oliver, I think I was muted and I was trying to speak. Thank you, Oliver. Thank you, participants. Thank you, everyone, for attending. I'm going to just say a few words on behalf of Yusuf, the Director General of National Institute of Rwanda, who was not able to make it due to other matters that he had to attend to. So I would like to appreciate and thank. I cannot add, I won't add more on what Oliver just said, but I would like to appreciate the efforts that UNECA is doing to push the modernization path forward. And we are looking forward to this webinar. This is just the first webinar, but we are looking forward to have many more webinars to mobilize the region and to start sharing experience between among NSOs so that we can learn from each other's experience. So I won't take much time, and I would like to give the floor to Isufu to follow up with the agenda. But I know maybe on the next agenda, we just provide few introduction remarks on the hub I don't know if I'm the one to follow. Isufu, am I going to continue with the presentation now?
Yes, you are next. So you can just continue with the next agenda item about the project.
Okay, thank you. Let me know if you can see my screen.
Not yet. Are you sharing your screen?
Yes. It's not coming yet.
I don't see it on my side.
Okay, let me try again. What about now?
Okay, now it is there, but it's not on full screen.
Okay, I think now you can see it. It's on full screen mode, right?
Not on our side. I think you need to put full screen first, then share it.
Okay, I see.
Okay, it's still the same thing, but
okay, maybe I can
follow.
Continue. Yeah.
Yes.
So I will take you briefly through the global platform and the regional hubs in general, and then I will talk a little bit on these projects, the web scraping project. What was the purpose before to set the scene for the presenters? So the global platform, it's a cloud-based platform that has been there to facilitate NSOs to share resources and emerging new data sources and see their use in official statistics. So it has presences in different regions of the globe. We have a regional hub in Brazil. We also have another regional hub in UAE. Catering for the MENA region. There's also another regional hub which is emerging in Eastern Asia to cater for that part. And there is, yes?
Your slide are not moving. Are you still on the first slide?
On the map side. Can you see the map?
Yes, on the side, but it's not the current slide. We are still on the title slide.
Oh.
Maybe you didn't share the right screen. Okay,
yeah,
now
you can click on slideshow and to swap the screen presentation, and we will show the full screen normally.
Oh, I see.
Slideshow, okay.
Yeah, you swap.
I think it's up. There is a button on the top. Higher. Top again.
Oh,
up,
okay.
up.
Here.
Oh, yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Okay. Now you can see the map side.
Yes, we see the map.
Okay.
It's okay.
So I was saying that we have different four regional hubs across the globe, and there's one in Brazil. There's another one in UAE, catering for the MENA region, and another one emerging on the East Asia in Indonesia. But we also have two other specific hubs, one catering for areas for SEA, and another's located in China, focusing on satellite images for official statistics. So the last but not least, sorry, it's our regional hub that is focusing on African region, and it's hosted in Kigali, but it's a partnership between statistics office in Rwanda, but with UNECA, which is driving it forward. So the mission of the hub is to support African member states in effectively using alternative data sources applying appropriate tools and techniques to provide credible and insightful statistics. So it was the Memorandum of Understanding was signed back in 2020 amidst COVID between Government of Rwanda, UNECA, and UN Department for UNDESA. So the objectives of the hub for people who maybe have connected for the first time, the hub seeks to facilitate in projects, but also enable sharing of knowledge, provide trainings, and for NSOs to collaborate on methodologies and come up with some proof of concepts. So this is what I just said. It was established in 2020. We now have a steering committee, and we have started some activities where we conducted some the first survey to understand the landscape of in use of big data and data science at NSO's level. And we have we held some workshops with different NSOs to understand their maturity levels. We also have a governance. We have governance tours and work plans, and we have a version of the dedicated website, which will be shared later during this webinar. So about this specific webinar, we are going to share experiences of the first collaborative project, which was around web scraping for CPI. So this project was a collaboration between many countries, to mention Ghana, Nigeria, Senegal, Tunisia, and later Rwanda team also joined. And we were blessed to have technical expertise and instructors from the Bank of Italy and Statistics Poland. And we were also at the back end, like in the back was UNECA supporting NISL and our colleagues from ONS. ONS is the statistics of the government of the UK. And we also had people on the capacity building task team of the global regional hub. So the program was a 4 weeks virtual training, followed by a 1 week long face-to-face training that was conducted here in Rwanda. And the purpose of the project was to explore possibilities of web scraped data and whether it can be used in our CPIs. Also, among the expected outcomes were to strengthen skills in different areas, to mention Python, web scrappers, but also to understand the methodological challenges and some ethical considerations to cater for before we undertake this project. So I would like to give, so this is just one bigger picture of how it went. We had different teams from different countries, and I would like to give back the floor to our presenters to go ahead. Back to you, Yusufu.
Ok, merci beaucoup Thérèse. Donc c'est un aperçu très rapide de ce qu'est le hub régional pour la science des données et le big data. Donc l'agenda suivant consiste à avoir quelques pays qui ont participé au projet pilote, qui vont partager leurs expériences avec nous. Donc les pays qui vont présenter ici, ce sera le Nigeria, le Ghana et le Sénégal. Donc sans plus tarder, si le Nigeria est prêt, ils vont nous présenter leur expérience et ce qu'ils ont appris par rapport au web scraping. So if Nigeria is ready, you have 15 minutes. So who is presenting for Nigeria?
Okay.
Are you trying to share your presentation?
Morning, everyone. Can you hear me? Hello.
Yeah, we can hear.
But we don't see the slide. Mr. Kingsley. Are you muted?
Hello.
Hello, we can hear you now.
Please, we just have a little slight network connection, but I think we are swapping the system. It will be online.
Okay.
Yes.
Or can we take Ghana while you are restarting the system, if Ghana is ready?
Ghana is ready, but I can share my screen because it looks like Nigeria is still trying to share.
Yes, now you should be able to share now.
Okay, all right, thanks. Can you please see my screen?
Yes, yes.
Okay, so my name is Samuel Arukwaku from Ghana Statistical Service. I'm a member of the data science team of Ghana Statistical Service. I joined the program or the project in March. A lot of modules, okay, some few modules have been done, but I got very excited about the project. And we had one workshop, one webinar, and then I was in Rwanda also for the in-person training. I had a lot of help from Luigi and Dominic, and I must say that was what inspired my participation in the project. So I'm going to do a short presentation of the things that I learned through the training and the whole exercise. Okay, so this is where I start from. From the 4 stages that we learned on the methodology for scraping data from the web for visual statistics, the training concentrated on the first 2. So that is where my presentation will focus on the planning, the data collection, and then the processing. So here I had to map out the sites that I want to scrape, and then what data that I want to collect from those sites. So I selected these two major online markets in Ghana, Telefonica, and then my GH market. Telefonica is basically a online phone shop. They sell phones, but my GH is a more bigger market. They have several categories of products and other, but I was only interested in the smartphones and tablets from these two major sites. And the type of phones that I concentrated on were Android phones, Apple, Samsung, Huawei, Infinix, the popular brands that we all know. Okay, so this is the data model that I use for the data collection. It has the structure where I pick the vendor, the item category, the item name, and the link, what we normally call the hypertext reference. And for manipulating the data within the script, I use data structures like lists, tuples, dictionary sets, and data frames. Of course, we were also taken through using the data model from the Pedantic library, but I chose to use this one because I'm more familiar with these data structures. So after the data collection, I generated a CSV file, and then I also created an SQL, my SQL connection, which has a table for each of the categories that I was scraping, and then I stored them inside the database. Okay, so if we come to the tools and technologies that I used in my project, I was using Python 3.9, running in a virtualized environment on an Ubuntu 20.04 version. I used the Jupyter Notebook, Visual Studio Code, Selenium framework. I did 1 or 2 plots just to show some discoveries from the data. And then I also used the Bootstrap library just for look and feel, then my SQL, and then I put all this into a Django framework. That's the web application that hosts the automation of the whole process. We come to the scraping process. So what did I do? The first process, as we were taught, was the initial exploration of the site structure. So we do that by using the inspect feature from the web developer tools of the browser. So I had to go to each of the sites, Telefonica and then my GH market. I had to explore the HTML structure and then identify the category pages or the sub-layers within the complex network of HTML tags. And then all this was done to map out a clear strategy for scraping or extracting the data of interest hidden under the layers of tags. Then I come to the development where I use Jupyter and Selenium as an extension in Visual Studio Code. First, to automate and test the scraping activity. So in doing that, I have to check the execution time and then errors, potential errors that will crop up during the scraping process. So these two things actually guide the testing process, which is the execution time and then the errors that may come up during the scraping process so that I can deal with them. Then once I checklist and pass all the modular testing and activities, I convert the script which I generate from Visual Studio Code, which is actually the .ipynb script file, which I convert to a Python.py file. The purpose of the conversion is for me to be able to integrate it into my Django web application framework. So this is the process flow for the entire activity of scraping the data. So I do the development, I design the data model, the DOM exploration, plan the data collection, error handling, and then I have my reproducible process which I can run over and over again to make sure everything is working. I test it thoroughly. Then I come to the automation where I convert the script from Jupyter notebook to a Python script, integrate it into the web application, then run the entire pipeline. Then finally, I deploy the application. And then I check if the CSV file is there, and then the data is in MySQL. So I'm going to go through the codes to show how it was done. Okay, so I'm in my visual. Yeah, hello.
I can see someone hands raised, Nathanael. I don't know whether it's related to this project. Maybe if, can we hear from him maybe before you proceed?
Okay, let's hear.
Okay, thank you very much. I don't know if you are here to ask just question.
Maybe when I finish, it will be
at the end of the presentation. Okay.
Okay, nice, thank you.
Okay, so Terence, please, can you see my new screen now?
Yep. Yeah, we can see the Python notebook.
Yeah, okay, so that's it. Yeah, so this is the Visual Studio Code where we have integrated Selenium and then Jupyter. So I have broken them into chunks. I have my import statement, so I can just run this chunk and you could see it gives me the time, just 0 seconds. It just executed this code in 0 seconds. And then I come to my object definition. So this is for Penantic, but because I'm using Python data structures, I didn't use the class models or data models. So I'm not going to run this one. Okay, so the next thing I do is to read the robot file. Now the robot file is actually a file on every site that tells you the areas within the website that you have access to, that you can script, and those that you cannot script. So I check it to make sure that I have permission and access to script the site. So I just run that. It takes 0.4 seconds. So this is actually a testing platform for the scraping codes. So you can see if any error or the time it takes to execute the script. Okay, now I have my, this is where I incorporate my Chrome driver. So because it's an automated process, you can open the web browser and then run the scraping automatically. So here, I run it to, I don't know if you can see the web browser. It's open now.
We are still seeing the code.
Okay, so I need to share that, unless I share that before you can see it, but.
Yes, it's a different window.
Yes, a different window, that's why. But it's open. Maybe let me just share it quickly so you see. Can you see it now?
Yes.
So the code I just ran actually opened this site. And I'll go back to the code. When it starts running and scraping, I'll share it back again for you to see that. So as I was saying, this code actually, it's a driver that controls the Chrome. We are using a browser called Chromium browser to actually do the scraping. So Selenium web driver actually controls how you open the browser and then what you do with it and other things. So here, I was able to automatically open it from the code. And then I'm going to pull the home page or pull the HTML from the home page for the scraping. So this is the purpose of this code. So I run it. It takes just 2.8 seconds. And here you can see I'm using a Python module called Beautiful Soup, which actually formats it in a way that makes it easily to navigate through and then do the scraping.
You have about 2 minutes left.
Okay, so because of time, I'm just going to run through the code because I have to demonstrate the web application also. So this code pulls the category pages, and then the final code I have here actually retrieves the data. So if I run it, it's going to take a while because there are a lot of loops in here and extraction that is taking place. So it's running. I'll show you the browser. So if you look at the browser, you can see that it's moving because there's a scraping process going on. Okay, it looks like it's finished. Now I want to demonstrate how this thing happens within the Django web application, which actually automates the entire process. So this is my home page. So this is why I automate the whole thing in the web application. So when I click on Telefonica, what it does is it starts scraping the site. When it finishes, it will give me a report of the scraping process. So I'm unable to share the other screen because of time. So just see, you will see there's a change on the screen once it's done to give me a little report from the scraping process. Okay, so that's it. I hope you can see it. Can you please see my screen?
Yes.
So yes. I just made some few discoveries or insights from the data I just scraped. You can see I have Techno. There are 23 Techno phones that was scraped. You can see the mean price, the median, the maximum, the minimum. And then there is this brand called CAT, Apple, and all that, Samsung. Then I have a bar on the mean prices by category. So this is just from the data. Now, this one also, my G is Ghana, but it takes a while, but because of time, I don't want to start it because that will take a while to actually scrape. But this is a brief insight from what I learned from the web scraping for CPI project. Thank you very much. If there are some questions, I can take 1 or 2 questions.
Well, the plan is to do the 3 presentations first, then we will take all the questions together.
Okay, all right.
So thank you very much. Very interesting. I hope Nigeria is ready now. So 15 minutes in the interest of time. We are already like 20 minutes late on the agenda. So
okay. Good morning, everyone. Can you hear me now?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, I want to quickly share my screen. Can you see my screen?
Yes, but not
it's
in
up
full
now.
screen yet.
Okay, not even, okay. Let me put it on.
Okay.
Are we good to go?
Yes.
Okay. Good morning, everyone, and welcome to today's webinar on outcomes from Consumer Price Index web scraping projects. Yeah, thank you for taking your time out to be here today. And also, I want to use this opportunity to thank UNECA, ONX, and even UK Statistics, and also UN Big Data Regional Hub for Africa for organizing such an insightful webinar. Okay. Here are the outline of my presentation. I will be taking us through the introduction, the objectives, the key outcomes from our CPI web scraping projects, the benefits of web scraping, what we learned while we were there, then moving forward and what worked well in our project, and finally conclusion. Okay. I will start by saying that the training all started with a 12 weeks intensive visual training, which the last week we all converged at Rwanda for the in-person training. In order to promote the CPI initiative in Africa, our project attempted to scrape information from multiple websites, and it serves as a template for other statistical organizations. You can agree with me, interestingly, that we spend an increasing bigger part of our everyday life online. So we will certainly not ignore the rich data that is out there. Otherwise, we risk to lag behind and establish a bias towards the traditional channels of economic activities. I want to quickly make a brief explanation about the technique which we are using, which is web scraping. Web scraping, also known as web data extraction, is a process of collecting and passing raw data from the web. When we say passing, we mean analyzing data from the web. It is used for extracting data from websites, which can then be analyzed and processed for various purposes. Web scraping is not just being done like that. It involves writing of codes so that it can automatically access web pages and extract data from them. These data can be in a structured or unstructured format. When I say structured, I mean in an organized format or unorganized format. And it can as well take the form of tables and other formats. Now, while we are all gathered here today, the main objective is to share the outcomes and learning from the Collaborative CPI program with regional national statistical offices and introduce the materials which we used in our training. Then the key outcomes from our CPI web scraping projects. One was that we successfully scraped data from various websites related to CPI indicators. When we talk about CPI indicators, we are looking at price indices. We are also looking at inflation rates and also category specific informations. That's what we are looking at as a whole. Also, one of the key outcomes that we also achieved was, as we were able to extract information from various websites, we organized the data into a structured format, making it easier to analyze and visualize the CPI trends over time. At least we were able to achieve that. And also, we were able to also harmonize the data that we were able to extract to create a comprehensive data set for analysis. So when I say that we're able to harmonize the data, I mean it involves different sources of CPI data, bringing together different sources of CPI data, and also standardizing them so that they can be compared, so that they can be compared over time, and also for better analysis as well. And also it involves different steps. Different steps, like it ranges from the data collection down to data cleaning, then standardization of the data, and also having a quality assurance and data integration follows next. Now, this is a pictorial of the script which we were able to come up with while we were in our training in Rwanda. You won't just log into any website. So we're able to scrape the websites, that's our data source, the market food shop. And just as I said earlier on, that web scraping involves writing of codes. So we're able to come up with different codes on this integrated development environment. That's VS Code, which that was the environment we used. Then when we're able to come up with a code, we extracted informations. This is what the site that I just showed you of the market food place. This was a targeted category of item that we were able to scrape. This is the outcome of the data forms that you will see when you scrape a particular website. Yes, you have the data source, which is the website. You have the date, which was the day you did the scraping. You have the price. You also have the name of the product, the size, the link of the data, the currency, and also the description of the item. So these are the forms that your data will come when you do the extraction. Then let's look at the benefits of web scraping. It has a lot of benefits. The first one we have is access to large amounts of data. Yet, when you use this technique, it actually gives organizations that are actually using it the allowance to actually collect a large amount of data quickly and efficiently. Then the second point there says improves data quality. How does it improve data quality? We are looking at when we actually do our extraction, it's being organized into a structured format that helps for easy analysis as well, and also interpretation. Then the next is it discovers and captures new products and items. Yes, we script from what we also learned is that the trends, new emerging trends are being also pictured. Then other businesses that are also out there on the web, while you're doing your extraction, you also will capture it. As likewise, other new products that are being pushed into the market, you as well capture it. These are the benefits of web scraping. Then another benefit is it automates repetitive tasks. When I say it automates repetitive tasks, I'm simply referring to making the manual collection of our prices much easier. That once you automate it using the the technique and the tool, just like we used while we were there, Selenium and Beautiful Soup, we're able to extract a lot of informations from different websites without not even going physically, just as the traditional way of data collection. The other thing is it's as it relates statistical production process. Yes, looking at how it's been automated, it makes everything about the statistical production process to be as fast as possible. And what we learned, one of the things we learned was data collection and analysis using web scraping, which I've explained earlier on. We also learned broader understanding on how sampling can be applied in selecting the website for data scraping. Yes, we can't just randomly pick any sites. We also have to consider some certain factors before picking a site for our web scraping. Just as we have to look at the traffic situation on that site to be sure that, yes, people frequently visit that site for purchases. Then another thing we also learned was the integration of web scraping methodology in CPI development. Yes, this will actually help to enrich the household expenditure survey, which is usually conducted for CPI weight generation. Yes, that's the beauty of what we've learned so far, that if going forward, this will actually help in our weight generation. Moving forward, we actually came up with that we have to continue with the utilization of web scraping as an effective way to collect data quickly and efficiently in our BU. Yes, we've so much appreciated our top management. Their buy-in is there, and we are actually chanting the way forward. The various techniques learned and the tools such as Python and its various libraries will be used for future data analysis in the Bureau. Yes, we've seen the beauty of what we've done, and it has come to the notice of everyone that this is a way forward, and we'll be using it going forward. Then we also learned about Python libraries such as Beautiful Soup and Selenium, which we use to automate the process and scrape data for data gathering, which can be used for consumer price computation and compilation. On the script I showed earlier on, that was what we used. Then we also learned handling dynamic websites and utilizing expert expressions for targeted scraping. Yes, that was another thing that actually made more impacts while we were on the training, that we're able to have a way to navigate around various websites to extract target informations, or if it's a targeted information. Then another thing is data harmonization to ensure its validity and reliability, which I've explained earlier on. Then implementation of data cleaning techniques to handle inconsistencies and missing values within the script website. Yes, that was also one other thing that helped us. So these are things that we've picked that moving forward, applying these techniques, it will actually make a headway. Then what worked well in our projects? Yes, communication was key to the success of our projects. When I say communication, we had a regular check-ins from our facilitators, our organizers, and they were always there was this updates every now and then to make sure that everybody is on the same page. Also, web scraping is a valuable tool for any organization that needs quick and efficient access to data. However, it is important to have a clear plan and understanding of the data being collected and to properly harmonize the data to ensure its validity. Yes, it's very key from all we were able to do in Rwanda, that there must be a clear plan on how to achieve a certain goal at any point in time. And in conclusion, we will say that the web scraping project under the CPI Collaborative project National Statistical Office was a resounding success. We were able to efficiently collect and harmonize data, and through collaboration and training, we learned new techniques and expanded our knowledge base. Our project serves as a model for other statistical organizations looking to utilize web scraping for data production and analysis. Thank you for your time.
OK, thank you. Donc, merci beaucoup pour la présentation du Nigeria. Il est bon d'insister que nous sommes en pleine évolution vers des écosystèmes de données où l'interaction entre l'humain et la machine devient primordiale. Il est donc indispensable que nous, en tant qu'êtres humains, nous apprenions le langage des machines, tout comme il est essentiel que les machines maîtrisent le langage humain. Ainsi, nous progresserons vers un langage intermédiaire, une sorte de point d'équilibre où nous collaboreront de manière harmonieuse. Donc, en quelque sorte, c'est ce qu'on est en train de faire ici avec le web scraping, apprendre à parler le langage aussi des machines pour extraire les données plus rapidement. Comme ça, nous aurons une meilleure collaboration dans l'écosystème des données. Donc, sans plus tarder, on va donner maintenant la parole au Sénégal qui va aussi partager avec nous leur expérience avec le web scraping et puis qu'est-ce qu'il faut retenir pour un système statistique national. Donc, si nos collègues du Sénégal sont prêts, la parole est à vous.
D'accord. Merci beaucoup, M. Issoufou. Nous allons faire notre présentation pour le Sénégal. Bonjour tout le monde. J'espère que vous m'entendez bien.
Oui.
Je m'appelle Dame Diop. Je suis chargé des prix au niveau de l'Agence nationale de la statistique et de la démographie du Sénégal. Maintenant, nous allons faire notre présentation sur la collecte des données web de manière beaucoup plus précise, son intégration dans le processus de calcul de l'indice harmonisé des prix à la consommation, comme il m'a appelé l'IHPC. Maintenant, comme ça, nous avons le plan va s'articuler de la manière suivante. Nous avons les motivations, la planification, le choix de l'outil. Nous allons également faire une présentation. Nous allons présenter les différents outils que nous avons eu à utiliser. Ensuite, nous allons aussi faire une présentation des différents résultats que nous avons obtenus, le traitement des données qui a été nécessaire pour ces résultats, et ensuite nous allons terminer par des perspectives. Maintenant, s'agissant des motivations, il faudra noter qu'avec le développement du e-commerce, et selon un rapport qui a été établi par l'autorité de régulation des télécommunications et des postes ARTP, nous avons une vente de ligne et nous avons une vente en ligne qui avoisine les 27% en 2020. Donc, certainement, maintenant, cela montre qu'en réalité, cela dit qu'il y a un développement beaucoup plus accru des ventes en ligne. Donc, ce qui fait que son intégration devient imminente dans le processus de calcul de l'IHPC. Toujours dans le cadre des motivations, nous avons l'amélioration des données traditionnelles parce que nous avons noté une évolution stable de certains produits, notamment avec certains points de vente où les prix de vente ne sont pas tout le temps affichés. Nous avons également constaté que le nombre de passages est assez faible, notamment dans les supermarchés, c'est-à-dire qu'ici, nous avons les variétés hétérogènes, où nous relevons les prix une fois le mois. Donc, son nombre de passages est faible, alors que ce sont des produits qui sont tout le temps dynamiques, qui sont volatiles. Ce qui justifie le choix de ces différents produits. Et aussi, nous avons l'intégration de nouvelles sources de données dans le besoin d'innovation au niveau international, ce qui a été établi en Genève en 2018, dans le cadre du programme de renforcement des capacités. Maintenant, toujours dans le cadre de la planification, nous avons défini une catégorie. Nous avons ciblé certaines catégories d'articles. Nous avons, par exemple, les articles d'habillement en raison de leur stabilité. Nous avons aussi les voitures d'occasion. Nous avons aussi les produits électroniques et électroménagers en raison de leur dynamisme, ce dont je parlais tout à l'heure. C'est-à-dire qu'il y a une évolution beaucoup plus volatile. D'un mois à un autre, ou bien d'une semaine à une autre, les prix varient, ce qui justifie leur choix. Nous avons également, dans le cadre de la surveillance des produits, nous avons retenu également certains produits alimentaires au niveau de certains supermarchés qui proposent des ventes en ligne. Maintenant, pour la recherche et exploration des sites, cela veut dire que nous avons identifié certains sites web ici au Sénégal qui sont très représentatifs, ils sont beaucoup plus fréquentés. Donc, ici, en guise d'exemple, nous avons ici ce tableau. Nous avons quelques sites, nous avons par exemple le site Jumia, SN, avec presque 60 500 visiteurs par mois. Nous avons Auchan, qui est un magasin qui vend beaucoup de produits, notamment alimentaires et même des fois vestimentaires et autres. Nous avons le supermarché Sakanal. Nous avons également Expat Dakar et autres, qui vendent des fois des voitures d'occasion, des téléphones portables et pas mal de produits. Maintenant, ici, toujours dans le cadre de la planification, nous avons ici un tableau récapitulatif de l'ensemble des sites web avec les catégories de produits, les catégories de produits que nous suivons là-bas. Par exemple, pour le site Jumia, nous avons les produits. Nous suivons là-bas tout ce qui est produits électroniques et électroménagers. Nous avons le site sakanal.sn. Là-bas, principalement, ce sont des produits alimentaires. Nous avons le site nova.sn. Là-bas, c'est là-bas que nous faisons le web scraping des articles d'habillement hommes et femmes, les chemises, les pantalons, des chaussures, ainsi de suite. Nous avons également le site soumari.com, qui est un site très utilisé ici dans notre pays au Sénégal, qui s'active également dans la vente des produits électroniques et électroménagers. Nous avons le site Expert Dakar, comme je l'ai dit tantôt. Là-bas, nous avons décidé de cibler uniquement les voitures d'occasion bas de gamme et moyenne gamme. Nous avons le site Jumia avec également aussi les produits électroniques et électroménagers. Ce qui justifie le choix. Vous avez vu que, par exemple, nous avons choisi beaucoup de sites où nous suivons là-bas les produits électroniques et électroménagers en raison de leur dynamisme et de la volatilité des prix. Chaque semaine, des fois même chaque jour, il y a des promotions, il y a des évolutions, il y a de nouveaux appareils qui sont en vente, donc d'où l'intérêt de bien prendre en compte cette catégorie définie. Maintenant, toujours dans le cadre de la planification, maintenant, nous avons défini un modèle de données, c'est-à-dire que quelles informations doivent être collectées, et nous avons la vérification à faire au niveau de chaque site retenu. Nous avons également le ciblage des données spécifiques pour une classification des produits. Voilà. Maintenant, nous allons aborder la partie choix de l'outil. Ici, pour les choix de l'outil, c'est-à-dire qu'ici, nous avons essayé d'abord en un premier temps un programme sur R. C'est-à-dire que nous avons, avec le développement de certains packages et commandes de R, nous avons eu à développer en 2020 certains programmes. Mais il y avait eu des bugs, il y avait quelques mésavantages. Donc, raison pour laquelle nous avons choisi d'autres, notamment ici, par exemple, pour l'extraction automatique, nous étions confrontés à certaines restrictions. Et maintenant, pour faire beaucoup plus simple, nous avons utilisé une extension Google, qui s'appelle le Simple Scrapper, qui est testée pour effectuer des extractions. Et nous sommes heureux de vous dire que depuis le mois de juillet 2021, de même depuis le mois de mai 2021, il y a des extractions hebdomadaires qui se font ici au niveau de nos différents sites que nous avons eu à choisir. Chaque semaine, c'est-à-dire que nous faisons l'extraction des données. Et de ce fait, au cours du mois, cela dit pour chaque site web, nous avons 4 relevés de prix pour nos différents produits. Et maintenant, pour terminer, suite à l'atelier de Kigali et autres, nous avons eu la chance d'avoir 2 stagiaires qui ont développé une application qui permet non seulement d'extraire les données, mais également le traitement et ensuite terminé par un stockage des différentes données sous format 16. Maintenant, ici, comme je l'ai dit tantôt, nous allons faire un petit focus sur Simple Scrapper. Simple Scrapper qui s'installe gratuitement et permet à quelques instants, et sans avoir même de connaissances techniques, d'extraire des données de plusieurs sites web en quelques secondes. Également, il suffit tout juste de se rendre sur un site pour utiliser l'outil, créer une propriété, sélectionner des données que vous souhaitez insérer et répéter l'action comme nous montrent les images après. Maintenant, ici, comme vous l'avez dit, ça, c'est le Simple Scrapper. Nous avons ici l'onglet Add Property pour déterminer des propriétés. Choisir ce que nous voulons. Par exemple, si je veux scraper, par exemple, de la boisson Rani, je peux, comme propriété, je peux avoir le prix, le nom, ainsi que la description de la variété que je dois choisir. Okay. Maintenant, ici, toujours dans le cadre du choix de l'outil, avec les stagiaires, ils ont eu à développer une interface vraiment très conviviale avec l'utilisation réalisée avec Python, avec certains packages de Python. Par exemple, nous avons le package Build-Fist Library et Jupyter Notebook. Comme vous le savez, Build-Fist Library, c'est un package qui permet d'identifier en un premier temps quelle autre bibliothèque utiliser pour l'extraction. Comme le montre l'image ci-contre, nous avons également Jupyter Notebook, qui est un environnement de développement interactif largement utilisé pour le code, la visualisation des données et le reporting dynamique. Avec son interface qui est vraiment très conviviale, il permet même aux utilisateurs d'avoir d'intégrer du code et de faire beaucoup de choses avec. Maintenant, ici, nous avons ici l'architecture, nous avons le site e-commerce cible, nous avons tout ce qui va avec, comme vous le voyez ici, l'image. Et si je tiens à noter qu'il y a mon collègue Biden également qui va revenir sur cet aspect dès que j'aurai fini cette présentation. Et maintenant, toujours dans le cadre du choix de l'outil, ici nous avons l'interface. L'interface qui a été faite avec Tikinte. Comme je l'ai dit, mon collègue informaticien Biden pourra revenir là-dessus pour mieux étayer les choses. C'est ici, ça c'est l'interface. Et maintenant, ici, après avoir ici l'interface, nous avons, ici au niveau de l'interface, nous avons l'extraction, nous avons le traitement et nous avons également le bouton quitter pour mettre fin aux différentes opérations entamées. Maintenant, ici, comme je l'ai dit tantôt, avec l'extraction des données, nous avons même une liste déroulante ici qui permet de choisir la catégorie de produits qu'on veut faire l'extraction, qu'on souhaite extraire. Nous avons également l'onglet enregistrer les données, ainsi de suite, pour pouvoir stocker les données, pour pouvoir stocker les données scrapées sous un format CSV. Et même ici, toujours dans le cadre du choix de l'outil, ici, il y a une autre interface qui a été développée avec Django qui permet de scraper également, d'enregistrer. Parce que nous avons eu, comme je l'ai dit, nous avions eu deux stagiaires, l'un à travers avec Tikinte, l'autre à travers certainement avec Django. Et maintenant, ici, comme vous l'avez vu, comme vous le voyez, il y a une liste des 10 premiers scrapés. Nous avons comme en guise d'exemple, ici, nous avons la source, c'est-à-dire que le site, la catégorie, la sous-classe, ainsi de suite, ici le nom de la variété, et aussi nous aurons également les prix à côté. Et maintenant, venons-en aux résultats. Avec Simple Scrap et autres, tout le temps, l'objectif est là, c'est-à-dire que tous les moyens sont bons. Nous avons différents outils qui nous permettent d'extraire les données. Ici, nous avons les résultats, une présentation brève des résultats. Par exemple, ici, nous avons, ça a été fait au niveau du site Senegal. Nous avons extrait l'ensemble des produits alimentaires que nous avons reçus. Et à côté, nous avons aussi le prix. Nous avons ici les prix à côté, de même que la date et autres. Maintenant, après avoir extrait les données, il y a un nettoyage des données collectées qui se fait, ensuite terminé par une classification. Tout ceci rentre dans le cadre du traitement des données. C'est-à-dire qu'après avoir extrait des données, c'est-à-dire qu'il y a quelques nettoyages, c'est-à-dire qu'établir ce que l'on appelle le ferment CSV n'est pas trop convivial, et c'est de nettoyer ça, de rendre ça beaucoup plus clean. Et nous avons ici les catégories, les différentes catégories que nous avons eu à extraire, par exemple les chemises, les pantalons. Ici, l'extraction a été faite au niveau du site nova.sn. Et maintenant, à côté, nous avons ce que l'on appelle le libellé court IHPC. Cela veut dire que pour chaque produit choisi, quelle est la variété, elle s'apprend à quelle variété au niveau de l'IHPC. Par exemple, ici, nous avons les chemises uniformes. Au niveau du coyugop, au niveau du panier IHPC, nous avons une variété chemise adulte. Donc, tout ceci rentre dans tous ces éléments extraits-là, tous ces produits élémentaires sont rattachés à la variété chemise adulte. Il en est de même pour les pantalons jeans, avec deux variétés. Nous avons les pantalons jeans pour hommes et les pantalons classiques pour hommes. Nous avons également les ensembles costumes, des fois qui sortent en mode 2 pièces ou en 3 pièces. Et tout ceci également sont affiliés à un poste, c'est-à-dire que le poste de vêtements de homme. En quelque sorte, ça, c'est juste un exemple pour montrer le traitement qui se fait juste après l'extraction des données. Et maintenant, en guise de perspective, nous avons l'agrégation des données dans le temps en utilisant la moyenne géométrique pour déterminer les prix moyens. Je pense qu'on en avait largement discuté durant l'atelier de Kigali. C'est comme au Sénégal, nous n'avons pas actuellement une enquête pour pouvoir déterminer les différents poids, la structure de pondération, aussi bien pour la collecte traditionnelle et pour la collecte et pour les données scrapées. Donc, actuellement, nous allons limiter juste à utiliser la moyenne géométrique. Et comme que nous sommes dans une phase de rénovation des l'indice, nous pourrons en profiter pour pouvoir initialiser ces données et pouvoir calculer ça dans le temps avec Phoenix. Voilà, c'était tout pour cette présentation. Je vous remercie. Maintenant, je donne la parole à mes différents collègues, Baïdembe, M. Fall, Meng et M. Sissé, pour vos éventuelles contributions. Merci.
Ok, je pense que...
Malik, tu enlèves le mode présentatif. Voilà. Masquer le mode présentatif. Voilà, c'est parfait. C'est bon.
Bonjour tout le monde. Dame, tu peux revenir sur la partie architecture?
Oui, c'est le Sénégal qui parle. Je suis.
On a juste 15 minutes pour la présentation, donc je ne sais pas, puisqu'on est 5 minutes avant la fin. Peut-être ce serait bien de laisser d'abord notre collègue parler du point de vue du web, ensuite dans la discussion, on pourra revenir sur ces aspects, parce qu'on ne nous reste plus que 5 minutes dans le temps officiel. Est-ce que ça vous va comme ça? Bien, vous pouvez le faire en 1 minute.
Oui, il n'y a pas de souci. Allô?
Ok. Donc, on va laisser Mola aussi parler du point de vue du web régional et ensuite, j'espère que vous allez nous excuser, nous donner quelques 10 minutes pour qu'on fasse la discussion et pour qu'on puisse clore. Donc, is Mola online? Or is it Therese?
Isufu, is it on the outcomes?
The regional app perspective. Is about the regional app perspective. The next agenda item. Then we will go to question and answer, and then we will close. Yes, it's about the outcomes.
Yeah. Okay. Allow me to share a screen. This is a Word document. I'll go quickly into it because we are out of time. So this is, in my previous presentation, I had shared what was the expected outcomes. And here we are going to share from the feedback from the participating countries. The hub was able to ask comments and assess the impact and how the project went. And even in the presentations, some of the presenters were able to highlight the learning outcomes, so I will not repeat them, but just a few of them. I will also focus on what did not went well, because most of them focused on the positive side, and we appreciate that, but we still have maybe a room for improvement for our future projects. And so among the outcomes, as most of the presenters said, they were able to identify methodological challenges, and we are happy that some of them were also, they went further and explored innovative ways. So that is really a key positive outcome from the project. And some of them, like Senegal, was able also to understand the uptake of the online prices in their CPI. So we hope maybe going forward, there are more work being done to see whether we can also consider this new technique of correcting data into their CPI. So maybe we are planning many webinars to keep learning together. But on so the extent and range of online prices, this outcome was achieved, and also the ethical consideration prior embarking on this journey of using web scraping was an expected outcome, and at the end of the project, this was also achieved, but there was something that was partially achieved around, we were not, due to limited time, we were not able to be able to compute some indicators. So that was not really achieved fully, depending on the limited time we had. For example, we were not able to do the nowcasting of some prices. But the developing the web scrapers, even the presenters were showcasing that they gained those skills and now are able to do that. On the side of room for improvement, as I said previously, we had 4 weeks learned virtually. So participant provided feedback that was really wrong and looked like lecturers. So that's a room for improvement. We have taken on those feedbacks and we are improving the program going forward. And some of the sessions were more technical to some participants. So we will be able to provide some learning materials prior the programs going forward. So there are suggestions from participants, and thank you for providing your feedback, and we will also consider them going forward. So those were briefly the evaluation that we did of the program. So back to you, Issoufa.
Merci Thérèse. Donc on va juste prendre 5 minutes, peut-être 2 ou 3 questions, et ensuite on va conclure puisqu'on est déjà au-delà du temps imparti. Donc, si vous pouvez nous accorder juste 10 minutes, on va prendre 2 questions. Est-ce qu'il y avait des questions? Ah oui, Nathaniel?
C'est ça. OK, merci. On attend la seconde personne, je pose en même temps ma question.
Oui, allez-y.
OK, donc bonjour à tous et à toutes. En tout cas, merci également pour cette invitation. Donc, moi, c'est Benro Nathaniel, de l'École nationale supérieure de statistique et d'économie appliquée d'Abidjan. Voilà, donc en tout cas, je remercie les présentations, les présentateurs pour les présentations qui ont été faites. J'ai 3 questions assez rapidement. Donc la première, c'est notamment sur la fréquence de collecte des données. Voilà, donc je pense que le Sénégal a indiqué qu'il le faisait chaque semaine. Voilà, qu'en est-il des autres pays? Et pour le Sénégal, et ça vaut également pour les autres, comment c'est fait? Est-ce qu'en fait, il y a une intervention humaine ou voilà, est-ce que c'est collecté directement dans la base de données arrière? Donc ça, c'est la première question. Ensuite, ma seconde question, c'est que pour un produit donné, bon, je sais que dans l'approche traditionnelle, en général, on a plusieurs points de vente, voilà, justement, pour avant de calculer les moyennes. Et justement, dans le projet actuel, pour un produit donné, combien de points de vente, combien de sites Internet, justement, donc, qui construisent des points de vente sont considérés pour pouvoir, voilà, pour pouvoir calculer l'indice. Et ma troisième question concerne un enjeu lié au lien dynamique, parce que bon, on a essayé un projet pareil aussi avec des étudiants. Un constat en tout cas que nous on avait réalisé en Côte d'Ivoire, c'est que pour certains sites, justement, le lien du produit, voilà, d'une semaine à une autre peut changer, soit parce que bon, le site décide de changer la description ou pour une raison ou pour une autre. Voilà, est-ce que les autres qui ont réalisé ce projet ont rencontré ce problème et comment est-ce qu'ils ont surmonté cette difficulté? Voilà, merci.
OK, merci. Donc, qui est le mieux placé pour répondre à cette question? Peut-être Nigeria ou Ghana?
Okay, so let me say that about Ghana. Currently, we are not doing any we are not calculating CPI using web script data yet. We have not taken off. I can see Senegal has made very good progress. We can learn from them, but here we have not yet taken off with that. So it's still at the experimental stages. We are looking at that possibility as this project goes on. Thank you.
OK, merci beaucoup. Est-ce que nos collègues ont un mot à dire, 1 minute chacun?
Hello. Good afternoon, colleagues. My name is Samuel from Nigeria, NSO Nigeria. So just to the second question, also over here in Nigeria, we just got introduced to web scraping. during the course of the introduction to the webinar through the Union Regional Hub for Africa. And so we're also just experimenting at this point. And yes, as you have seen from the presentation from my colleague, Mr. Kingsley Obina, we gave you a rundown of where we started and what we learned and what we intend to do going forward. So it's a good one, and I would like to say kudos to the Senegal team because we're inspired by what they've been doing. For them to be scraping every week, that's quite encouraging. So yes, so we're at the point where we'll be migrating to COICOP 13, and because we're also planning also rebasing our GDP at that point, we'll be working towards introducing that. So like I said earlier, we're still at the test run phase. Thank you, and over.
Ok, merci beaucoup. Je crois qu'on va donner une minute au Sénégal, dans l'avancée est très appréciée. Comme ça, après, on va aller vers la conclusion. Thank you, Sénégal. Nos collègues du Sénégal, est-ce que vous avez quelque chose à ajouter?
Non, bonjour, Monsieur Issoufou. Je pense que pour le Sénégal, c'est correct. Maintenant, juste pour peut-être donner, si les autres collègues ont quelque chose à ajouter, je vois M. Fall, notre directeur, et Baïdemba et mes autres collègues.
Ah, ok.
S'ils ont quelque chose à ajouter.
Bon, bonjour à tous. C'est bon, je crois que Dame, notre collègue Dame a dit l'essentiel.
Ok, désolé,
Voilà,
c'est
donc,
que...
pour l'architecture, ce n'est pas nécessaire qu'on présente, mais en tout cas, c'est un projet dans lequel nous avons appris beaucoup de choses. Nous avons aussi bien au plan fonctionnel qu'au plan technologique. Voilà, nous avons participé à toutes les séances en ligne. Et aussi l'atelier qui s'est tenu à Kigali a été très, très bénéfique. Voilà. Donc, outre l'équipe technique qui est en place, des statisticiens de prix et des spécialistes de données, des informaticiens, nous avons bénéficié de l'appui d'étudiants de l'école de l'ENSAE, de l'ENSAE, École nationale de la statistique, École nationale de la statistique. Voilà, donc qui ont été d'un apport important dans le cadre de leur mémoire de fin d'études. Donc, et la lancée va continuer au-delà de ce projet. Voilà, merci. Merci à toutes les parties prenantes. Merci, au revoir.
Ok, merci beaucoup. Donc, nous devons respecter le temps, surtout à cause de l'interprétation. Donc, nous voulons juste annoncer que ce n'est que le début d'une longue série. On a beaucoup de séries de séminaires qu'on va faire. Donc, le prochain, ce sera pour la codification des occupations. Vous savez, à partir d'un texte, souvent, c'est un problème pour codifier la description d'une occupation et la ramener à une classification. Donc, on a des solutions utilisant la data science et ça sera l'objet de notre webinaire suivant. Donc, comme on est déjà presque à 10 minutes, on va aller vers la clôture. Donc, je vais voir si nos collègues du Regional Hub ont quelques mots à dire, peut-être Thérèse ou Garnett. Et après, si M. Olivier, le directeur du Centre africain, pourra dire quelques mots pour la clôture. Donc, d'abord, Thérèse, est-ce qu'il y a des informations?
Thank you, Issoufou. From what we have already had, we not add more, but just to appreciate all the partners on this project. UNECA, ONS, Bank of Italy. Luigi has connected. Thank you very much. I think you are proud of the impact now. You can see how far it's going. So thank you very much. Thanks to Statistics Poland, because we had an instructor from Poland, Dominic. I don't know if you are connected. Senior management of NSOs, Ghana, Nigeria, Senegal, Tunisia. Please send our appreciations. And thank you very much to whoever has connected today. I think maybe you picked something, you had one takeaway or two. Thank you. Back to you, Isufu.
Ok, merci beaucoup. Donc, si M. Oliver Chingania est en ligne, juste pour dire quelques mots de
Oui,
clôture.
oui, merci beaucoup, Monsieur Moderator.
Okay.
No, thank you very much, colleagues, those that made presentations, and I think that this is work in the cooking. This is work which is in the oven. I want to believe that we have not removed it yet from the oven. It still needs to be cooked. And what I mean by that, I think that this is very much in preliminary stages. That I think we need to go back and perhaps polish a little bit more, and perhaps even within our respective offices to be able to build the necessary capacity to be able to do this, because there's a bit of programming that is required. What was not said about this part of the work also was the kind of skills that are required to do this. I think it would have been nice that perhaps the Secretariat of the UN Global Hub, Regional Hub, is to see how, talk about the skills themselves that are required so that the National Statistical Office can actually begin to prepare themselves. What does it entail to do web scraping? Yes, the methodology probably now we know. How does this get incorporated in the normal work that we do at National Statistical Office? How do we embrace these methodologies, and how would it interface with the already existing traditional ways? And on what products are we going to be using with scraping into the CPI? And what is what we do with those that we don't web scrape? So, and this is the reason I'm saying that this is a work in the cooking, work in the oven, that perhaps a little bit more thinking is still required in terms of what we are doing. That said, I think this is excellently commendable work that Yusuf and Trace are leading, and that really I want to thank both of them for leading this work. I mean, to be where we are, when we look at where we were about the same time last year, we've moved to this excellent position. And I think it's a position now that we need to harness these achievements into concrete results. And that what we want to do also is to go back to our Director Generals collectively to be able to demonstrate that this is what works and this is how it works. I want to challenge that perhaps when we have a moment, this regional hub must also present the results to Director Generals. We could organize an extraordinary meeting to just talk about this, because this is just not for us here and Rwanda, but this is for countries. And for countries to be able to embrace and put in the resources, they have to see value for it. So my challenge to Teresa and Yusuf is that, can we organize another webinar with the Director Generals and with the colleagues that are presented, maybe a little bit more refined work, and to demonstrate what kind of results are being obtained, and why we are recommending that web scraping would be a tool that will make a difference in getting the results in the way we want, in producing data in much more innovative way and faster than we were doing in previously. So to me, that becomes critical going forward, colleagues. Otherwise, I want to commend the team again for this very good webinar, but also yourselves as participants. I think the fact that we've been here for nearly 100 people joining, it shows the importance that you attach to this kind of work. I think modernization, digitalization, technology is here, and we cannot run away from it. And to be honest, us on the continent, if we don't embrace these new tools, we are left behind. And that's not the principle that we want to ride ourselves. We want to make sure that we embrace on these technologies. Our colleagues now, they're using beyond just web scraping and other tools, because perhaps their internet, not only just be tech savvy, but also because the infrastructure is readily available. It's a challenge for us in Africa. We don't have the infrastructure that can embrace all these things. But I think if we can demonstrate small results, it is possible that our principals will be able to invest a little bit more resources in data and statistics overall in the general in the data ecosystem to be able to do what is required. If we don't, even the aspirations for us to meet Agenda 2063 and Agenda 2030 becomes a challenge. Yeah, so thank you very much to our partners, in particular ONS who have been there, the Bank of Italy, our colleagues from Poland that also have been part of the support, and all other people that have been part of it. And in particular also, just for us as ECA to work with the Rwanda National Statistical Office, it's a big plus because then we have a commitment from the country that is willing to move and demonstrate and lead the way as a model. So thank you so much, colleagues, and I'm hoping that Teresa and Yusuf will then give us a roadmap in terms of where do we go next from here. Thank you very much, and back to Yusuf.
Ok, merci beaucoup. Donc, on a bien pris note des conseils et puis de la façon dont on va faire la suite du programme. Comme on l'a annoncé, on va revenir très vite à vous avec un questionnaire et aussi avec le plan pour le prochain séminaire qui sera probablement dans 1 ou 2 semaines. Donc, merci aussi aux interprètes et à tout le monde et on peut donc clore la réunion. Et on reviendra à vous très bientôt. Merci et au revoir.
Merci, merci. Au revoir.
Merci. Merci tout le monde.
Merci. Et si vous pouvez partager les présentations.
Ah oui, ce sera fait. Ce sera fait.
Okay. Merci.
Et vous invitez par le même canal pour les prochaines réunions.
Thank you. Bye. Thank you very much. Bye bye.
Ok. On va vous envoyer là-dedans.
Thank you very much.
Merci à tout le monde. Merci.
Ok, merci à tous. À la prochaine.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Bye.
Thank you very much. Bye. Mm-hmm.